Good afternoon, everyone. So today I will discuss about two topics. One is about the mangrove alliance, and the second is about the tea production and the tea board in India. In the last class, what I discussed about how the UPSC is picking question from the newspaper and how you can linkage your GS syllabus with the paper. Whatever you are reading from the news and how the statement is framed from the newspaper and what type other information you need, we discussed in the last class, so you can follow that. In this class specifically, I will discuss the two topics, and this is the second class here. Before starting the class, I will let you know we are covering these sources. These are the main sources we are covering. It's about the Hindu Express, Hindu Indian Express, Business Line, Hindustan Times, Live Mint, PIB, and the environment portal of the government, Science Reporter, Yojana. These are the major sources which we are covering. So there is do not worry about the sources. So in the sources, like you are following one or two newspaper, maybe the Hindu or maybe the Indian Express. So you can follow that. Leave rest on us. I will take care for that. So the topic for the today. Two the topics are, one is the mangrove alliance. One is the mangrove alliance. It was in the news because of the COP27. It is in the news because of the COP27 recently held in Egypt. And the second topic is in the Indian tea industry. Recently, the Ministry of Commerce take a meet with all the farmers of the Indian tea grown farmers. So this was in the news. It also a question was on the tea industry in the 2022 prelims was asked. So we will look into that also. Yeah. So let's start with the first topic. The first topic is about the MAC, Mangrove Alliance for the Climate Change. So why this was in the news, you can see what is the Mangrove Alliance for the Climate and which India joined at the COP27. Recently in the COP27, India joined a alliance. So this is about the news. What is the Mangrove Alliance? And the India joined this alliance in the COP27, which held at the Egypt. So we can see what is the important we need to know about this alliance. Number one, what is the MAC? What is the Mangrove Alliance for Climate? Second, is there any guidelines for the country? Specific guidelines, or this alliance is on the voluntary basis? Number of countries joined this alliance. The number of countries joined the MAC alliance. The number of countries joined this alliance. And how this is important for the exam perspective. What is the Mangrove Alliance for Climates? We also discuss about the mangroves. Area in the India where the mangroves can be found, like the Sundarbans regions, and the significance of the mangrove in the climate change. How the mangroves play a crucial role in the climate change. So we will look into it. So this is about the Mangrove Alliance of Climates, Mangrove Global Warming, Sundarbans, and the significance of the mangroves. So why this was done in news recently during the COP27 in the climate summit in Sharm el-Sheikh, Egypt. Recently, COP27 was held in Sharm el-Sheikh in Egypt, and where the Indonesia and the UAE announced for the MAC, Mangrove Alliance for the Climate Change, in COP27, which was held in the Sharm el-Sheikh, Egypt. The UAE and the Indonesia announced for the MAC, the Mangrove Alliance for the Climate Change. Which other country are the part of the MAC? Like the India, Sri Lanka, UAE, Indonesia, Spain, and Australia. These 7 countries are the part of the MAC. And what is the complete focus of the MAC? The complete focus of the MAC is on like how the mangrove can play an important role in the climate change. So this is about the how the mangrove can play an important role in the climate change. So first of all, we will see what is the MAC exactly. First of all, we will see what is the MAC. So MAC the members of the MSC are the UAE, Indonesia, India, Sri Lanka, and the Japan and the Spain. What is the main objective of this MSC? It seeks to educate and spread awareness worldwide on the role of mangrove curbing the global warming. So means this alliance is mainly related to how the mangrove can help in curbing the global warming. So this is the main objective of the MSC, and this is an intergovernmental alliance which is not binding on any country. Means this is a voluntary alliance. So what statement can be asked in the paper? It's a voluntary alliance or it's a binding treaty within the countries. It is not a binding treaty. It is a voluntary alliance by these 7 countries. The countries are UAE, Indonesia, India, Sri Lanka, Australia, Japan, and the Spain. So these are the main countries. Here, the intergovernmental alliance is a voluntary basis alliance. So we can see next, it's a voluntary basis alliance. Means there is no check and balance. If any country is taking the steps to protect the mangrove or not, there is no checks and balances. It's completely on the country. They want to protect the mangroves for the global climate change or not. So instead of party will decide, there is no commitment decided by the party, like in the COP15, Paris climate deal. There was an INDC signed by the different countries. We will do this much amount of work so that we can stop a temperature rising to 1.5 degrees Celsius. Whereas in this alliance, there is no guidelines, there is no target fixed by any country. This is completely voluntarily basis. No country has any commitment to do these things. One other major points, the members country will also share the technology how they can protect the mangroves, which can help in the climate change. They will share the technology. These 7 countries, UAE, Indonesia, India, Sri Lanka, Australia, Japan, and Spain. These will share technology with each other. So comprehensively, they can protect the mangroves in the country. So this is the alliance all about. Now, this is about the news, what is the alliance, but now we will come to the basics. What is the exactly mangroves? Mangroves hote kya hai? Where it is located? What is the features of the mangroves? What is the significance of the mangroves? So mangroves are the shrubs mainly found in the coastal area. Where has the saline water and the fresh water meet up? They are found in the marine area where the saline waters and the fresh water meet up. Mostly grown area of the mangrove in India is the coastal area. The coastal states in the India are the mainly the mangrove grown area. So what are the main features of the mangrove here? They can grow in the saline environments. Means they are saline protected, can be grow in the salty waters. They can survive even in the low oxygen. If the content of oxygen is very low in the water, they can survive. Third, they can survival in the extreme condition. If there is a high temperature up to like the 35 degree, 40 degrees Celsius, even there is a low temperature, they can easily survive. The viviparous. Viviparous means there are the 3 terms we can use: oviparous, viviparous, and the ovoviviparous. Oviparous is which are these are the organisms which laying eggs, and the viviparous which are giving the birth to the young ones. If any mangrove is attached to the tree, they can grow themselves. So this is come under the category of the viviparous. They are directly give birth to the young ones. Means the plant can be grown if it is attached to the plants. The seed germination is directly with the plants. So these are the main features. Means they can tolerate the extreme climate changes, as well as they can grow in the saline environment, as well as they can grow in the high temperature or even in the low temperature. Now we will come to the what is the significance of these mangrove plants. Sabse pehle to in the food chain. In the food chain, they are like a main source for the food chain. And they in a marine food chain, they play a very important role. If we can see, they provide the organic materials and the chemical elements and important nutrients in the coastal system. The mangroves provide the organic materials. Means organic material, these are small materials from the plants which can be used by the different phytoplanktons for the growing in the coastal systems. So these provide the nutrients as the chemical elements and the organic materials in the coastal system. The second is to provide one-to-one basic food chain resources for the marine organism. If you see the marine food chain, it starts from the phytoplanktons, then come to the zooplanktons, then it's come to the fishes. So these are the main crucial elements play a role in the food chain of the marine system. Third is the provide physical habitat and the nursery ground to wide variety of organisms. If you see in the coastal area where the mangrove are located, there are many species can be found in these mangroves. Different types of habitats, different types of species are grown in these areas, in the mangrove area. And during the time of tsunami, during the time of high tide waves, the mangroves play a very important role because they reduce the speed of the wind. They reduce the speed of the wind, so the damage by the high tides, damage by the storms, damage by the cyclone can be reduced by the mangroves. If the mangroves are in a high density range, then they can easily stop, easily can reduce the effect by the wind or by the cyclones or by the storms. So these are the major significance of the mangroves. So what we'll see, सबसे पहले हमने देखा what is the MAC, what is the MAC, what is the MAC, then what are the features of the mangroves, what are the features of the mangrove, and what are the significance of the mangrove in the climate change. So these are the main three things we have done till now. What is the MAC, mangrove adaptation change, as well as the what is the mangrove significance, and what is the mangrove's role in the environmental change. Now we will come its area in the selected area in India as well as in the world. So if we see in India, these are majorly grown in the this region, West Bengal region, Odisha region, Andhra Pradesh region, Maharashtra, and the Gujarat region. If we see, this is the mainly in the coastal region of the India, mainly in the coastal region of the India, and the specific location in the West Bengal is the Sundarbans region. Sundarbans region has a high density of the mangroves, and it is also has a UNESCO World Heritage Sites for the protection of the mangrove. It also got a UNESCO World Heritage Sites for this Sundarbans region. So these are the regions in the India which are having the mangroves. In India, almost from the Southern Asia, in India, there are 45% of the mangroves in India. In complete South Asia, there is a 45% of mangrove is from India only. 45% of the mangrove from the India only. If we see all over the world, in South Asia, there are more than the 85% of mangroves. If we see about the world's the mangrove density in the South Asia, it is almost about the 85%. And from South Asia in India, it is almost about the 45%. So this is the density of the mangroves in India as well in the South Asia. So this is about the location of the mangrove in the India. The highest grown state is the West Bengal, then the Gujarat. You can see the sequence: West Bengal, Gujarat, Andaman and Nicobar, Andhra Pradesh, Odisha, and the Maharashtra. These are the top 6 states. Number 1 is the West Bengal because of the Sundarbans. Second is the Gujarat. Third is the Andaman and Nicobar Island. These are the main 3 areas in India where the mangrove can be grown. These are high density regions in India of the mangroves. So we will see next topic. What is the major challenges? What is the major challenge in protection of the mangroves? सबसे पहले तो commercialization. कहीं भी किसी भी चीज का, किसी भी species का, even in the national park, in the zoological parks, in the wildlife sanctuary, if we see the area around these are the commercialized, maybe industrialized, maybe commercialized, or maybe transportation के लिए वहां पे road बना दिया गया. तो इसकी वजह से due to the commercialization, due to the increase in the aquaculture at the coastal area, due to the coastal development regions, and due to the palm oil farming in these specific area, तो mangrove protection कम होना शुरू हो गया है, जिसकी वजह से the decrease, the density of the mangrove start decreasing in this area, and the salt tolerant tree को replace कर दिया गया. Means the mangrove variety are the salt tolerant variety, and these are started replacing due to the commercializations of the coastal area. Then due to the shrimp farming is the mainly the aquatic farming of the like the seafoods farming. Mainly you can say about the any seafood farming in the shrimp, and the shrimp farming is the major reason of decrease in the mangrove density. It's caused decrease over 35%, at least 35% of overall loss of the mangrove forest. It caused overall 35% of the loss in the mangrove forest. So shrimp farming It's a farming of the aquatic organisms and mainly the marine organisms. So it's causing a 35% of the overall loss in the mangrove forest. So this is the second most region in the area which causing the loss of mangroves. Third is a temperature related issue. If there is a temperature difference is more than the 10 degrees Celsius, if there is a temperature of 25 degrees Celsius, then again there is a change in temperature to 40 degrees Celsius. So higher temperature difference is also impacting the growth of the mangroves. Then the soil related issue, the soil porousness and the oxygen availability in the soil is very less, which is affecting the growth of mangroves in this area. Then the human interference more than the animals. We are on the earth right now. In India specifically, we are on the 140 crores. So excessive human interference in this area, and due to the greediness of the humans, the decrease in the density of the mangroves. So these are the major 5 regions. One is the mangrove forest is shrimp, the shrimp cultures, the coastal area developments. Third is the temperature related issue. Fourth is the soil related issue, and the fifth is the excessive human interference. What are the initiatives taken by the governments? What are the other initiatives taken by the government to protect these mangroves area? One is the UNESCO designated site. Means if any site is getting the UNESCO status, then its protection is increased. Like in the Sundarbans area, the UNESCO World Heritage status is given to them so that their protection can be increased. So what are the conditions required for the growth of the mangrove can be provided in that area. Second, the International Society for Mangrove Ecosystem. It is a specific society which are focusing on at a different part of the world for the growth of the mangrove. Third is the Blue Carbon Initiative. Blue Carbon Initiative, this is a specific initiative for the conservation and restoration of the marine ecosystem. This is the main initiative for the conservation and restoration of the coastal ecosystem. Then the International Day for the Mangrove is announced by the United Nations on the 26th July. These are the 4 major initiatives. One is the Blue Carbon Initiative, another is the UNESCO World Heritage Site Initiative, and the International Day for the conservation of the mangrove ecosystem. So what we had covered till now, what is the Mangrove Alliance, locations of the mangrove in India, what is the significance of mangrove, what are the threats to mangrove, and the steps taken by the government. These are the 5 topics we covered under the mangrove, but in the news there is only MAC. What is the Mangrove Alliance? If you see the 2022 paper, there was a question on like specific question on the terms like greenwashing. Greenwashing. A specific question on the climate change. I don't remember the like a specific term. There was a question like this alliance. That was also a line that was directly asked from a newspaper, and all the three statements directly from the newspaper. So it's become important. What is the MAC? What are the members of the MAC? There are 7 members of the MAC, like the India, Sri Lanka, UAE, Spain, Australia. These are the members of the UAE, and this is not a binding agreement. This is not a binding agreement. This is a voluntary agreement. All the members can start initiative toward the growth of the mangroves, and all the members will share the technology with each others. But there is no target fixed, no year fixed by this alliance. No targets fixed by this alliance, and the no year is fixed by this alliance. Like in the Paris climate change, Paris climate deal, we see that there is an INDC signed by different countries. We will achieve this much amount of renewable energy till 2070. We will do this much amount of carbon reduction by 2030. But there is no limits in this alliance. Now, this was a question in the prelims. Which of the in prelims 2015 related to the mangroves? Which one of the following regions of India has a combination of mangrove forest, evergreen forest, and the deciduous forest? So this, you can see the question is asked from the basics itself, but the MAC was in the news this year. So question may be on the MAC or maybe on the basics of the mangroves. So which of the following regions of India has a combination of mangrove forest, evergreen forest, and the deciduous forest? So you need to know the location where all these type of forest is found. Option number 1 is north coastal Andhra Pradesh. Second is the southwest Bengal. Third is the southern Saurashtra, it's a Gujarat region. And D is the Andaman and Nicobar Island. So answer for this question was the D, Andaman and Nicobar Island, because here we are finding all the three types of mangroves. Evergreen की वजह से बाकी सब में है. हाँ. So answer will be the D. So similarly, we can see the mains question asked on the mangrove. This is the mains question in 2019. The ask on the mangrove. Discuss the cause of depletion of mangroves and explain their importance in maintaining the coastal ecology. Causes of depletion. We discussed the causes of depletion of the mangroves and the importance in maintaining the coastal ecology. How they are providing the sites for different organisms. What the role is played by in फूड चेन्स में क्या रोल प्ले करते हैं, क्लाइमेट चेंज में क्या रोल प्ले करते हैं, हाउ दे रिड्यूस द इम्पैक्ट ऑफ सुनामी, साइक्लोन एंड द हाई टाइड वेव्स. So these are the major importance of 4-5 importance. You can list it out. This was a 10 marker question. So 4-5 dimension on the east you can write, and this is the simply you can write the answer. Yeah, coastal economy can be grown. So you can add one more points. So this is about the MAC. If there is any question related to the MAC, you people can ask before moving to the next topic. So mainly the MAC is alliance of the 7 countries. UAE and the Indonesia ने announce किया, but other 5 members are India, Sri Lanka, Australia, Spain. These are the other members, which are the complete 7 members, because all the members are present in the COP27, but it is announced by the Indonesia and the UAE Mangrove Alliance. अभी तो नहीं, it's a simple alliance. There is no headquarter. अभी तक तो इन्होंने decide भी नहीं किया कि what they will do. It's a completely voluntary. It's a completely voluntary. There is no target by till कितना % आप करोगे, कितना किया है, क्या targets है, कुछ भी decide नहीं हुआ है. Simply this is a voluntary alliance. Technology will be shared by the different countries so they can protect the mangroves, and there is no deadlines. What you want to do, you can do to protect the mangroves. And for the global environment and the climate change, the protection of the mangrove is very important. So this is the main objective of this alliance. So let's come to the next topic. This topic is about the Indian tea industry. If you see the 2022 prelims question paper, there was 2 questions was asked in the Indian tea industry. One is about the tea board and another is about the location of the tea growing area in India. There are the 4-5 locations were given, and they were asked in how many states the tea is grown. And the option are only 1, only 2, only 3. This type of option was there. So why this is in news? Recently, the Ministry of Commerce the Union Ministry addressed the Indian Tea Association International Small Tea Grower Convention. Recent में Indian Tea Association की meeting हुई है, which were taken by the Ministry of Commerce. So this is in the news, and there were certain guidelines given to these growers as well as the जो major sellers हैं, जो major growers हैं, उनके साथ international tea small tea growers के साथ meeting हुई है. What should be the future status? क्या growth status होगा? क्या चीजें होंगी? All were discussed in this meeting. And so when we are reading this topic, what should be our focus? हमारा focus किस चीज पे होना चाहिए? First should be focus on the geographical indicator tag. Is there is any geographical indication tag given to the tea variety? अगर दिया गया है तो कितनी variety को दिया गया है? So this is important for the prelims perspective. Second, Darjeeling tea. Darjeeling tea के this is specific tea in India and famous in all over the world. इसके बारे में we will see. Tea Board of India. There was a question for the tea board in India in 2022. So we will see what is the tea board in India. Its headquarters is located in. Is there any headquarters or the offices in the foreign as well? So we will see also. Promotion and development scheme. Is there any schemes run by the government for the ODPOP, one district, one products के लिए कोई schemes हैं या कोई और schemes के लिए चलाई गई हैं? And the other initiatives taken by the governments for the protection of the tea industry and the protection of the tea laborers or tea farmers. And at last, we will see the geographical conditions. What are the major geographical conditions required for the growth of the tea? Like in 2019, they asked the question of the sugarcane. Sugarcane, what are the conditions for the growth of the sugarcane? What's the type of rainfall is required? Like the soil is required. So this was the idea behind asking, because the sugar at that time, Uttar Pradesh became the highest sugarcane producer in India. So the question was in the paper. So It's changing like in 2019 it was Uttar Pradesh, in 20 it was Maharashtra, but in 21 again the Uttar Pradesh is on the first rank. So mainly in India, the tea is grown in the northern part. Northern part means in the West Bengal area, in Assam area. These both areas are famous in India for the tea growth. In India, it's almost about the 83% of the tea is grown in the northern area, and the 17% of tea is grown in the southern area. In southern area, mainly it's the Telangana region as well as the Odisha region, and some of the in like a northern area, Tripura में भी कुछ % of tea grown होता है, but majorly focus is on the northern part. And India is the second largest producer of the tea in the world. Who is the first one? China is the first one, and even we are the second largest producer. We are the largest consumer of the tea in the world because our population is very high, and we are the second largest consumer of the tea in the world as well. So, सबसे ज़्यादा production होता है in the maximum production of the tea is in the Assam. We can see the maximum production of the tea is in the Assam, and then it is followed by the West Bengal. Assam tea is famous in the world as well as the West Bengal Darjeeling tea is very famous in the world. So we can see. So we will also discuss about it later on. Yeah, we are the largest consumer of the tea in the world, second largest producer and the largest consumer in the world. The Assam Valley, where is grown in the mainly in the Assam Valley? In Assam Valley, it mainly grown in the Kachaha regions and producing in Assam. This is the major region in the Assam where the tea is grown. In the West Bengal, if we see, these are the geographical area, Duas, Tarai, and the Darjeeling region where mainly the tea is grown. In the southern part of India, it is mainly grown in the Tamil Nadu region, Kerala region, and the Karnataka region. And the southern part of the country mainly consists of the 17% of the tea growth, and in the northern part of the country it consists of the 83% of the tea growth in India. So these are the basic factual data where the tea is grown in India. What are the major states where the tea is grown? Now we will see India total production is about in the last year is about 1283 million kilogram, whereas China production was the double of it. China production was near about 2300 million kilogram. So we are the far behind the China, but we are the second largest producer. It is the highest drinking pay in the world. It's not like it thanda matlab Coca-Cola hai, so it's not the highest drinking pay in the world. The tea is the highest drinking liquid in the world. So we consumption with the 80% of tea produced in the country consume. जितना हम produce करते हैं उसका 80% we already consume. So we is the fourth largest exporter of the tea in the world. We is the fourth largest exporter of the tea in the world. First is the China. If we see export, India is among the top 5 tea exporter. In the top 5 tea exporter, we are on the 4th rank, and we are making the 10% of the world total tea exports. We are making the total 10% of the world tea exports, and the India is exporting total tea to 25 countries. Mainly, we are exporting to the 25 countries. Out of those 25 countries, the major countries are the Russia, Iran, UAE, USA, UK, and the Germany. These are the major countries where we are exporting the tea. Yeah, it's the largest exporter and the largest producer of the tea. But in India, the variety of which variety of tea is exported is the black tea. Black tea in India, the black tea is the largest exporter variety. If we see the India contribution in the exports, we are exporting to the number 1 on the basis in the Iran, second on the Russia, third is the USA, fourth is the UAE. So we need to know where the largest country, जहाँ पे हम सबसे ज़्यादा export करते हैं. Iran is the first country, Russia is the second country, and the USA is the third country, and the UK is the 5th country where we are exporting our tea. Mainly now it's come to the type of tea. The mainly type of tea in India is grown in the black tea, green tea, herbal tea, masala tea. अभी 50 तरीके की टी आएगी. टी फॉर द वेट रिड्यूसिंग लॉस, एंटीऑक्सीडेंट के लिए ये अलग तरीके की यूज होती है. जल्दी वेट लॉस करना है तो लेमन प्लस ग्रीन ग्रास की यूज कर सकते हैं. मतलब मल्टीपल टाइप ऑफ टीज आर फ्लेवर्ड राइट नाउ इन द मार्केट, एंड आउट ऑफ दीज टी द ब्लैक टी इज द मैक्सिमम 80% जिसका हम एक्सपोर्ट करते हैं वो ब्लैक टी है. उसके बाद रेगुलर टी जो हम नॉर्मल घर में यूज करते हैं 16%, एंड थर्ड इज ग्रीन टी. green tea is now like a, इसका प्रोडक्शन बढ़ रहा है ड्यू टू द डिमांड्स इन द मार्केट, क्योंकि मेजर माना जाता है कि इट्स विल हेल्प इन द वेट लॉस, बट विदाउट एक्सरसाइज नॉट पॉसिबल, यू नीड टू डू द एक्सरसाइज एज वेल. तो इन इंडिया असम एंड द दार्जिलिंग टी, इन इंडिया में असम की और दार्जिलिंग टी द वर्ल्ड फेमस एंड द फाइनेस्ट इन द वर्ल्ड. इससे बेटर वेराइटी कहीं पे नहीं है टिल नाउ. असम दार्जिलिंग टी एंड द नीलगिरी टी इज द लार्जेस्ट वेराइटी इन द वर्ल्ड. इट्स बेटर कोई भी वेराइटी अभी टी की मार्केट में नहीं है. Which regular tea? Regular टी एंड मसाला टी. मसाला टी इज लाइक, आप देखोगे बाग बकरी का मसाला टी आता है, उसमें डिफरेंट टाइप स्पाइसीज ऐड कर दी जाती है. उसमें स्पाइसीज ऐड करने के बाद ताकि उसमें एक्स्ट्रा एडिशन ना डालना पड़े, जिंजर ना डालना पड़े, कुछ और आप डाल कार्डेमम ना डालना पड़े, तो ऑलरेडी दे आर स्पाइस विद द डिफरेंट टाइप ऑफ मसालाज, तो दैट्स नेम द मसाला टी. एंड yeah, this is the processed tea. Masala tea will be the processed tea, and the black tea is the natural one, and the regular tea, जो भी हम regular tea घर पे यूज करते हैं प्रोसेस्ड टी होती है, because टी लीफ को प्रोसेस करके ही उसको बनाया जाता है. नाउ द जोग्राफिकल इंडिकेशन टैग, किस किस टाइप को टी को जोग्राफिकल इंडिकेशन टैग दिया गया है. दार्जिलिंग टी इज नोन एज शैंपेन ऑफ द टी. दार्जिलिंग टी को वर्ल्ड में नाम दिया गया, इट्स अ शैंपेन ऑफ द टी. लाइक इन liquor we can say champagne is on a top level. Similarly, the Darjeeling tea is on the top level in the tea industry. And the other two variants of the green tea, one is the green tea and the another is the white tea, also having the GI tag. So these tea in India are having the GI tags. One is the Darjeeling tea, the champagne of the tea. Another is the white tea and the green tea. Green tea, white tea, and the champagne of the tea, the Darjeeling tea. These three teas are given the GI tags in India. So they can ask the question, किस type of tea को GI tags मिला. Maybe they can give the option of the black tea, or maybe they give the option of the regular tea. But the Darjeeling tea as well as the tea, green tea and the white tea are getting the geographical indication. Darjeeling tea. सबसे पहले दार्जिलिंग टी को सबसे पहले इंडिया में मिला था, उसके बाद ग्रीन टी एंड व्हाइट टी को मिला है. हाँ, हाँ, ये नॉर्मल, अगर नॉर्मल टी की बात होती है वो हमेशा ब्लैक टी होता है. इफ वी आर जनरली सेइंग अबाउट द टी, इट्स द ब्लैक टी, एंड द अदर वेरिएंट ऑफ दार्जिलिंग टी, द ग्रीन टी एंड द व्हाइट टी. I am saying the normal tea, then it's a black tea. Yeah. Yeah. First among all the GI tags. First among the GI tags. So we can see the leading exporting country of tea in the world. First is the China. Second is the Sri Lanka. Third is the Kenya, and the India is on the fourth rank. So the trends can be asked, who is the largest exporter of the tea in the world, and the India rank may be asked. So China is on the first rank, Sri Lanka is on the second rank, Kenya on the third rank, and India is on the fourth rank. So China is the largest exporter as well as the largest grower. China is the largest exporter and the largest grower. India is the second largest grower, but the fourth exporter, because we are consuming the 80% of tea. Similarly, in the case of the sugarcane, we are the highest producer of sugar in the world, but we are the highest consumer of the sugar in the world as well. So we are the second largest exporter of sugar in the world. So these are the mainly the country which are exporting the tea. Now let's come to the Tea Board of the India. This is the main topic of this Tea Board of India. The last the question was asked on the Tea Board of the India. It's a statutory body. Statutory body means it is formed under the parliamentary law. So it's a statutory body and it comes under the Ministry of Commerce and set up in the 1953. This is a statutory body. The Tea Board of India is a statutory body formed under the parliamentary law and it comes under the Ministry of Commerce. It comes under the Ministry of Commerce and start working in 1954. And the Tea Board having the 31 member. The Tea Board is constituted the 31 member, total member is 31, and every 3 years all the member will be re-elected or selected. हर 3 साल में members को इसको select किया जाता है. And its headquarter is in the Kolkata. The headquarter yes, yeah, headquarters so in the Kolkata and the 7 other offices in India. Its headquarters in Kolkata region is the Darjeeling area and the Assam area, where the major is 83% of tea in India is grown. So the major region over the headquarters in Kolkata is the production is higher there. And in the 17 other offices across India, there is no need to remember where are the other offices, but you need to remember the Kolkata is the headquarters of the Tea Board of India. And the foreign office, this was one of the statements, Dubai and the Moscow. Dubai and the Moscow, the capital of Russia, is the foreign office of the Tea Board. Tea Board of India is the foreign office in Dubai and the Moscow. So these are the major information. This is a statutory body, comes under the Ministry of Commerce, having the headquarters in Kolkata. Total members are the 31 members. These can be changed after the 3 years. And the foreign offices are in the Dubai and the Moscow. These are the 5 major important information about the Tea Board. Now, let's come to the geographical property of tea. What's the condition is required for the growth of the tea? What's the climate condition? Which type of soil is required? The rainfall is required. So, the plant name, tea to sabko pata, but we don't know the scientific name of the plant. The scientific name of the plant, the Camellia sinensis. The Camellia sinensis is the scientific name of the plants. And this is the world most consumed drink. This is the Till now, this is the world most consumed drink. Maybe after 2040, it's Coca-Cola is the must drink. But till now, the tea is the world most consumed drink. And what are the growth conditions for the tea? What are the different growth conditions for the tea? Climate. Climate is a tropical and the subtropical climates is grown because it's growing in the eastern India as well as the southern India. So the different type of climates are there. So it's grown in the both subtropical and the tropical climates, humid climates. If it's growing on the higher heights on the mountains, on the slopey flat. So there is a humidity because of the rainy season. There is a humid climate, which is the suitable condition for the growth of tea. And the temperature requirement for the growth of tea is 20 to 30 degrees Celsius. But above 35 degrees Celsius, maybe it's hamper the variety of the tea as well as the quality of the tea. But the suitable temperature is 20 to 30 degrees Celsius. If you go to the Himachal, in Dharamshala, there are some tea grounds there. If you see the temperature of the range is about 25 to 30. कुछ साल पहले इतना ही temperature होता था, but now the temperature is 40, 42, 43. So the quality of the tea is decreased as well as the production of the tea is decreased in that area. And if the temperature is increasing above 35 degrees Celsius, then it is harmful for the bush. Now, let's come to the rainfall. The rainfall required is 150 to 300 centimeter rainfall. This is the annual rainfall. A regular rainfall is required for the tea. And so that they are grown in the slopey slope, so that it can be easily percolate. And it's not a stagnant water. If there is stagnant water, that will impact the bush. But we need a continuous flow of the water. So they are grown on a slopey area. And the soil type is the alluvial soil. They are grown in the alluvial soil. Alluvial soil. And what is the soil variety of the growing? They are grown on the alluvial soil. And this is the slightly acidic soil. And there is no calcium content mainly, which is the mainly requirement for the tea. And they flow free from the permitted free percolation of water, means easily water can be like leach ho sakta hai wahan se, so that cannot be stagnated. Agar stagnant water hoga, तो it will affect the tea bush. So these are the major conditions. What is the temperature, what is the rainfall, type of soils, and which type of climate is required for the growth of the tea. A similar type of question on the sugarcane, type of amount of rainfall required, which type of soil, it's on the black soil. So this type of question may be asked. Now come to the uses. Its uses mainly आजकल तो यहाँ पे ऐड आता है कि weight loss के लिए ही यूज होता है, but it's mainly has a many therapeutic property, some medicinal property as well, and it's having the higher antioxidant content, so it's may help in the reducing the weight loss. So जितना भी आप green tea के advertisement देखोगे, mainly on the six-pack body. तो ऐसा नहीं है कि it can create a six-pack body. You need to do the exercises, then it can enhance the effect. Only drinking a green tea is not like it will give you a slim body, but when you're doing the exercise, and then intake of the green tea will help in the achieving the goal faster. So it is observed 21st May is like a United Nations Day is announced for the tea. World Tea Day is announced on the 21st May in December 2019. In December 2019, it's decided as a tea day. So major thing about the tea, what is a tea board? Different type of climates required for the tea grown in India. Type of variety of tea, the location of tea where the tea is grown in India. Kahan location pe bhi, so the major question was asked. Tea board of India and the climate effect. These are the major thing about the tea. Now let's see the some previous year question asked on the basis of the tea. This was the 2022 question. This was the 2022 question asked in the UPSC Prelims. The question was with reference to tea board in India, consider the following statements. The tea board is a statutory body. We see that it's a statutory body under the Ministry of Commerce. So the first statement is correct. It is a regulatory body attached to the Ministry of Agriculture and Farmers. So this statement is wrong. Third statement, the tea board head office is situated in Bengaluru. It's not in Bengaluru. It's situated in Kolkata. Because of the highest production, it is situated in the Kolkata. Fourth statement, the board has overseas office at Dubai and Moscow. This was the important information. This board is also in Dubai and Moscow, and most confusing statement as well. इसकी वजह से ही you can easily eliminate this one because it's not under the Ministry of Agriculture and Farmer Welfare, it's under the Ministry of Commerce. But this is the most crucial statement. So the answer will be 2 and 3. Sorry, 1 and 4. The answer will be 1 and 4. Option D. So let's see the second question which was asked. Consider the following states: Andhra Pradesh, Kerala, Himachal Pradesh, and Tripura. How many of the above are generally known as the tea producing states? Which one is not there? अभी तो बताया मैंने, धर्मशाला is example of the tea. The growth तो है, Andhra Pradesh is not there. And if you see the report of the tea board in 2021, they mention the 6-7 states which are growth having a tea, mainly tea producing states in India: Kerala, Himachal Pradesh, Tripura, other. So answer will be C. So you can see you cannot eliminate now because the options are given in the form only 1 state, only 2 states, only 3 states. You need to know all the options. So elimination technique will not work. So in 2020 reports of the tea boards, there are states like Assam, Tripura, West Bengal, Tamil Nadu, Kerala, and Himachal Pradesh. These are the mainly tea grown area in the India. So this was mentioned in the 2020 tea board annual reports of 2019 and 20. So the question was asked from this report. Mainly हमें क्या याद होता है कि दार्जिलिंग में है, असम में है, हिमाचल में है. So these are the mainly area in the news, but we need to know about the Kerala as well, about the Tripura as well. Tripura को किसी को नहीं है कि Tripura can grow the tea, but the Tripura is also a major area here. So we can see how the topic is linked even with the Mangrove Alliance, even with the tea board in India, how they can ask the question. If the MSc in the news, they can ask the question, the basic of the mangroves. Even they can ask the density of the mangroves, in which states in India is the highest density of the mangroves. And the area where the mainly mangrove is found in India, as well as the amount, 85% of South Asia, 85% of world mangroves is in the South Asia, and the 46% of South Asia mangrove is in India. So means India is a major location. So you can see this alliance is formed by those countries which having the high density of mangrove. So this is the important information, which having the high density of mangrove, major those countries is in the alliance. And this alliance is not binding to any country. There is no time limits, but this is like a motivational, you can say motivational alliance. You can start working on the growth of mangroves and protection of the mangroves. So it will help in the climate change process. जो climate change process इतना तेजी से बढ़ रहा है, उसको कम करने में ये help करेगा. So this is all about the alliance. Then we see what is the mangrove है कहाँ, location क्या है, what is the condition for the growth of mangrove, how the mangrove is help in the climate change, and what are the factors which are impacting the growth of the mangroves. What are the special conditions required for the growth of the mangrove? क्या temperature होना चाहिए, कितना moisture होना चाहिए, कितना salty water होना चाहिए. They are also important for the perspective. Then in the tea board in India, mainly what is the variety of the tea is India famous? Champagne variety of tea, Darjeeling tea. The mainly grown area in India कहाँ पे India में, which states में कहाँ पे grow किया जाता है? Headquarter of the tea board in India, headquarters in the foreign as well, which you need to know. And maybe the question on the condition, what is the climate condition, what is the temperature change, what is the rainfall required for the tea grown in India. Similarly, if there is any crop Like this is the tea was in the news, maybe the sometime wheat in the news, sometime maize in the news, rubber was in the news, that was in the paper itself. So you need to know about the basics of the news as well. It's not like the only news is important. It's like the basics of the news is similar important as the news is important. Because if you see the 60 to 65 question is the interlinkage with the current affairs, and the 20 to 22 question is the core from the current affairs. So you need to know both current affairs as well as the statics. And the main part in both is how you can link. If you learn the linkage, if I am reading this news, some of maybe left the meeting हुई तो हमें क्या करना है? It's necessary for us. तो मीटिंग में क्या डिस्कस था वो जरूरी नहीं है, बट what are the major area, कहाँ पे grow होता है, क्या चीजें हैं, क्या conditions, that was important for us. Even in the mangrove alliance, we see if we stop the study on the mangrove alliance, what is the MAC? It's a 3-4 lines about the MAC till now. But what are the mangroves, location of the mangroves, and the Andaman Nicobar? Maybe the sometimes location they can ask. Arrange the location wise. So this is also the important for us. So the current affair batch is starting. This was the second class. First was the orientation class, and this was the second class. On every Tuesday and Saturday there will be class of at 2:30 to 4. This will include a current affair test and the 50 session before prelims, which should be completely focused on the prelims perspective, and the 25 session after mains, which will be completely focused how you can link the current affair with your mains perspective and what dimension should be covered. So these are mainly the 75 to 80 sessions for these current affair classes, and every Saturday a current affair test of 20 questions as well as the discussion will be given. So you can visit to the Edukemy website and you can join that also. So this is all about the today class. We will meet on Saturday.